Imagine this chilling scene. A phone rings in a quiet little clinic in New Mexico. A woman's voice, calm and steady, books a heart scan for her husband, a Hollywood legend worth a staggering $80 million. But here's the shocker. She'd been dead for a full day when that call was made. Welcome to Celebrity Buzz, your go-to source for the craziest scandals. Today we're diving into the wildest Hollywood mystery of 2025. What the hell happened to Gene Hackman's fortune? Did this Oscar-winning icon and his wife Betsy Arakawa simply pass away by coincidence? Or is there something darker, someone pulling the strings behind the scenes? Or maybe something even creepier? Buckle up, because in the next 10 minutes I'm taking you on a roller coaster of murder vibes, high-stakes money drama, and a bizarre twist involving dogs that will leave you shocked. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's dive deep into this insane Hollywood mystery. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second. All right, let's break down the bones of this mind-blowing story because it's got more twists than a thriller flick. On February 26, 2025, Gene Hackman, the 95-year-old Hollywood icon who won an Oscar for The French Connection, and his wife Betsy Arakawa, 65, were found dead in their ultra-private home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. But it's not just them. One of their dogs was found dead in its crate, while two others somehow survived 12 days alone in the house. Feeling weird about this yet? Well, hold tight, because it's about to get a whole lot weirder. A doctor named Josiah Child from Cloudberry Health dropped a seriously creepy bombshell in an interview with the BBC. Betsy called the clinic on February 12th to schedule a heart scan for Gene. Sounds normal, right? Except police confirmed that Betsy had already been dead for a full 24 hours before that call was made. How does a dead woman pick up a phone and calmly talk about a heart scan like it's just another Tuesday? The doctor even said she sounded totally normal, no wheezing, no distress, just casually asking about oxygen therapy. But hold up, Betsy reportedly died from hantavirus, a nasty disease that shreds your lungs. There's no way she would have sounded that calm. So who the hell made that call? A ghost? A skilled impersonator? Or was it something even more sinister?
Gene Hackman's will dropped a bombshell $80 million dime for his three grown children. Christopher, 65, Elizabeth, 62, and Leslie, 58. His kids from his first wife, Faye Maltese, were completely shut out of the inheritance. Instead, two wills drawn up in 2005 named Betsy Arakawa as Hackman's sole beneficiary, and she left most of her estate to him. But when they died just days apart, a secret clause kicked in. If they passed within 90 days of each other, the entire fortune would go to an unnamed charity. New Mexico's community property laws, with no prenup in place, tangle everything up. What's the 90-day clause? If it's an accident, like a car crash or a fall, and one survives a few weeks before passing, the money still heads straight to charity. Hackman's kids, out of luck. Christopher is furious, and he's already lawyered up with a top-tier California attorney claiming this was no accident. He's got to prove it, or that money's gone with the wind. If he can't prove foul play, that $80 million is gone forever. Right now, attorney Julia L.
Peters, managing Hackman's estate, says that even though the kids aren't named in the will, New Mexico law might still make them legal heirs. Gene once admitted his career kept him distant from his children, and his dementia late in life made him vulnerable to manipulation. Did Betsy isolate him to lock down that $80 million, or was he punishing his past? But the drama's not over. Christopher, the eldest son, just hired a top California lawyer to flip the script. He has to prove it wasn't an accident, maybe suicide, or even a darker plot. If he wins, the $80 million goes to the siblings. If he loses, it's all up in smoke. Who do you think will come out on top in this fight? And wait, it gets crazier. There's buzz about the Star Whackers, this shadowy group that's supposedly been whacking Hollywood big shots like Heath Ledger and David Carradine to snatch their cash. Sounds nuts, I know, but the FBI is even poking around those surviving pups for clues. That's the raw rundown of this wild ride. But let's crank it up and dig into the real dirt now. Okay, Buzz Crew. I've been knee-deep in celeb scandals for years, decades, even tracking everything from petty beefs to full-on spooky mysteries. And let me tell you, This one's lighting up all my red flags like a 4th of July fireworks show. First things first, that phone call, ain't no way Betsy made it, period. Hantavirus is a monster. It rips your lungs to shreds, leaves you gasping like a fish out of water. You don't sound all cool and collected whining about a stuffed nose. I've seen enough weird crap in my time to bet my last buck someone faked that call. Could have been a family member with an axe to grind. Could have been a hired pro with a script. Why? To throw off when she actually died. That's why. And 12 days before anyone checks on Gene freaking Hackman. Come on, man, that's not just sloppy, it's suspicious as hell. Smells like someone wanted this buried deep and quiet. Now let's talk that will. It's pure daytime TV drama, unfolding like a soap opera on steroids. Gene cutting his kids out? Not a total shocker to me. Hollywood's littered with dads who let fame and work torch their family ties. He's admitted in old interviews. Think back to that Rolling Stone piece from the 90s. That acting kept him on the road, away from his kids. And as dementia started clouding his mind later on, he was probably a sitting duck for anyone with an agenda. Was Betsy pulling the strings on that 90-day clause? She's 30 years younger, sharp as a whip. Maybe she saw those kids as outsiders and locked them out cold, or flip it. Maybe Gene wanted it that way, a big move to rewrite his legacy after years of regrets, channeling it all to some secret charity we're still guessing about. Could be the Motion Picture Fund, since he loved the biz, or something eco-friendly like Rewild Dude was into nature big time in his Santa Fe days. Either way, it's a chess move straight out of one of his own films like The Firm or Enemy of the State. But hold up, what about this Star Whackers nonsense? It's the kind of wild theory that sounds like it crawled out of a cheap sci-fi flick, but it's got me side-eyeing the possibilities. Randy Quaid's been hollering since 2010 that they're real, says they got David Carradine, who was found strung up in a Bangkok hotel room back in 2009. Official report called it an accident, some kinky solo act gone wrong, but those knots were tied like a pro sailor's work, not some dude messing around by himself. No smoking gun proves these Star Whackers are legit, but $80 million on the line. That's enough for a shady crew, or just one slimy operator to stage a double hit on Gene and Betsy. I mean, think about it, 2 deaths, a big payout, and a weird delay before anyone notices. It's got conspiracy written all over it. And those dogs, man, they're the real MVPs here, stealing the show in this crazy puzzle. One's dead, 2 are still kicking after 12 days solo. Hantavirus could have taken out the pup. Mice carry that junk, and Santa Fe's rural as heck, crawling with rodents. But how did the other 2 pull that off? No food, no water, and they're fine? I've seen animals defy the odds before. Like in 2018, this couple in Texas croaked from a carbon monoxide leak in their trailer. Silent killer, no warning. And their cat survived a full week, scavenging crumbs off the kitchen floor, tough as nails. Or go back to 1994 with O.J. Simpson. Nicole Brown's dog was losing its mind, barking like crazy, and dragged neighbors straight to the blood-soaked scene. Basically a furry whistleblower. These dogs have genes? The FBI's all over him, and I'd bet my paycheck they're onto something. Maybe toxins stuck in their fur, or they saw some shady figure sneaking around that house. Dogs don't bullshit, folks. They've got stories to tell if you listen closely. Let's widen the lens with some real-world parallels, because this ain't Gene's first rodeo in the scandal spotlight. Take Heath Ledger, 2008, drops dead at 28 in his New York apartment. $16 million estate left in the dust. They called it an overdose, pills, accidental. But fans still swear it's fishy, that he was too hot, too rich to just fade out like that. Then there's Brittany Murphy, 2009, gone at 32 from pneumonia and anemia, and 5 months later, her husband Simon bites it in the same damn house, same exact cause. Mold in the walls, poison in the water, nobody's cracked it yet. Money and fame always kick up a storm, and Gene's mess slots right into that pattern. Too many gaps, too much at stake. I'm calling it. This ain't fate's doing. There's a human hand in this, playing puppet master with $80 million dangling like a carrot. So where does that land us, Buzz fam? What's the bottom line here? Gene Hackman's $80 million could wind up as some charity's golden ticket, or a killer's fat stack of hush money. Christopher might flip the script with his lawsuit, clawing that cash back for the kids, or those dogs could sniff out a bombshell that leaves the FBI gobsmacked. But after decades digging through the muck of celeb sagas, family blowouts, wild conspiracies, you name it, here's the big truth I've landed on. Fame's a double-edged sword, sharp enough to cut deep and leave scars. Gene had the whole package. Oscars lining his shelf, millions in the bank, a legacy that'll outlive us all, but he bowed out in a lonely Santa Fe house. His family fractured, his fortune a free-for-all battlefield. That's a wake-up call blaring in your face. Money doesn't patch up what's busted, it just tosses gasoline on the fire. Your $80 million, it's not about dollar bills piling up. It's the hours you clock with the people who matter, the love you pour into your life, the real stuff that sticks around when the lights go out. Don't let it slip through your fingers like Gene might have in his twilight years, chasing shadows instead of holding tight to what counts. I've got this buddy true story. He spent his 20s grinding like a machine, chasing paychecks, building a fat savings account. But when his mom passed a few years back, he broke down because he'd never stopped long enough to say I love you as much as he should have. That hit him like a truck, a regret he'll carry forever. I wonder if Gene felt that sting too. Distant kids, a life of accolades, and now $80 millions just a riddle we're all scrambling to solve. What's your gut telling you? Accident or total madness? Drop your hot takes in the comments. Slam that like button if this rocked your world. And subscribe, because next week we're diving back in with more juicy celeb secrets that'll keep you hooked. Oh, and before you jet, share this with your squad. Let's get the buzz spreading like wildfire. This is Celebrity Buzz, signing off. See you in the next video.